Now, this may not look very much like the start of a parkrun, and that is because I am late again because of who I am as a person. This is the Worcester Woods Parkrun, also known as the Worcester Parkrun, and I decided to go on the back of the building, which is why absolutely nobody is here, and I've just got to make it to the start before we can get going. And that is the sound of being late to a parkrun. You can see them all setting off just in front. It does look a bit more like a parkrun now, but you can see I didn't quite make it to the start, but not too far off, to be honest, but I am going to be starting at the very back, so we'll see how this goes for us. Look at all those puddles as well on the path there. That's why I had to take my off-road shoes. I'm running Asics Trabuco GTX shoes, which have actually been fantastic in my previous races. They've got really good off-road grip, which is going to be important today. And there you go. We've got the data finally. We're finally underway, but I've got to try and get past as many people as I can, because right now it's quite wide. We've got this massive tarmac road, but it's going to get a lot narrower later on. You can see it's super wet, just pushing through that wet bush there. You can see it's rained overnight. Thankfully not raining anymore. And then, yeah, look at this. So just able to work my way right on the outside right now. Not too much of an issue. Just got to try and get up to people that are sort of a bit more my pace. Probably aiming for sort of, I don't know, 4:30 pace, maybe a little bit quicker. It is quite a hilly one. Well, not quite a hilly one, but there is two reasonable size hills across the 2 laps. So, yeah, just squeezing past people here. Kind of run out of room, but then just managed to go around that guy there by jumping up onto the grass. And similar sort of thing here. Look, I can sort of see, well, I can maybe go around, and it's super sludgy on the right-hand side here. And these shoes, honestly, if I had regular trainers on, I would not have been able to go on that. But with these shoes, I was able just to go on it. No problem at all. And this has really helped me get past probably already a couple of hundred people, because it is normally quite a well-attended park run. But yeah, just, I'm going to say setting into my pace. Not really doing that at the moment. Just trying to get around people, honestly. But 4:40 pace on the top left. It's not bad pace already. Already 2 meters of elevation gain as well. Heart rate starting to climb, of course, as I wasn't able to rest before the start there. The kid in front there just waving. Don't think he's waving to the camera, but we'll pretend he's waving to the camera. He's waving to all you guys. And yeah, nice and wide right now, but let's see what happens when it gets a bit narrower. So as we come through the finish area then with all the lovely, lovely marshals, always got to thank them as we pass through. You can see it's starting to get a little bit narrower. Still not too bad for now. Just trying to get past people the best I can. Quite wide at this stage, but look at just ahead of us there. You can see we do go onto a regular path in a moment, but thankfully for now, it is still going to be surrounded by grass. But yeah, clearly here, not too easy to get through. Just having to ease at the pace for now, but it's my own fault for being late. No one to blame but myself. Obviously, we're not going for a PB today anyway. So yeah, just kind of go around the outside here. Again, look at this grass. I'm just going to go to the grass. It's going to be a slight shortcut, but we'll forgive ourselves for that one. Here we go. Finally able to go onto the grass now and put my shoes to good use. Up into 6-minute kilometer pace there as he ran around that corner. So showing the importance here of trying to get around some of these people. And yeah, let's keep going. A couple of 100 meters further on then, and we hit our first hill. So this is the hill that we're hit twice. Honestly, I don't know why. I quite like this hill. I feel like it's weird to like a hill. But personally for me, I'm not a massive hill runner, but it just makes it more interesting rather than just like a flat 5k where you manage your pace perfectly. I quite enjoy sort of like, you know, you've got a hill coming. It's like in racing when there's like a tough corner coming, in sim racing when there's like a tough corner coming. You're like, okay, I'm gonna try and send it through this corner. It's sort of a bit like that. I sort of look forward to it to be like, okay, I'm going to push up this hill and see if I can get past a few people type thing. So anyway, I'm weird. I don't normally like hills. I want to clarify that. I don't normally like hills. But this one, for some reason, I do quite like. It's not a massive hill. It's probably, I don't know, what is it, 10 to 15 meters maybe overall. It's not a huge hill, but just enough, just to let your heart rate know what's going on. You see, coming past a few people still here, settling into about 4:40 pace up this hill, but still quite comfortably going past people. We'll see at what point we start to settle into people that are out of pace. But before that, we're just about to come through 1k, and let's see what we managed to do despite all the traffic. It was actually a 4:41 first kilometer. Not bad at all. I'm genuinely pretty happy with that, all things considered. I don't think I'd be going that much quicker, even if I started at the start. So that super wide road right at the beginning was really sorting us out. So as we come across the top of the hill, it was about a 12-meter hill or so. You can see now we descend into, well, I was going to call it a trail run. It's not a trail run, and that is why I like this park run so much. Because although we are clearly off-road, and you'll see at the end just how muddy I get from all the stuff that flicks up from my shoes, it's obviously off-road here. It's not remotely tarmacked, but also it's so flat and even and completely fine. As long as you've got shoes that have got some grip on them, you're completely fine. And it just makes it more fun, honestly. It's just nicer than running on just plain tarmac. Yeah, it's not a trail one because there's no branches or no like horrible like uneven bits that can turn your ankle or anything like that. Like, it's nothing like that. But yeah, still just flying past me at the moment. Just sort of settling in maybe to 4. Let's see if I can do this next kilometer maybe close to 4:30 pace. We have kind of done the hill now, but again, I am a weird runner. I tend to run the same pace up the hill as I do down the hill. So let's see if that rings true today.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Marshall.
Always important to thank the marshals, and this is why it's called the Worcester Woods Parkrun. May have not been too obvious before, but we are now going right through the middle of a woodland. And again, though, despite all the trees, there's not really any branches anywhere. There's nothing really to trip over, which is absolutely awesome. But this is the downhill segment. It's sort of a weird parkrun because you've got that uphill that's uphill for a few hundred meters. But other than that, the rest of it is kind of just a very gentle downhill. So it's quite a nice one to run. Maybe that's why I like the hills on this one rather than all the hills on all parkruns ever. This is the only hilly one that I actually like, I think. But yeah, so just gently coming down now, sort of setting into about 4:30 pace. You can see, obviously, traffic's died down. We've already overtaken the vast majority of people that we need to. We didn't get too stuck, so it's not really held us back. We are still a little bit quicker than the people around us, but yeah, they're not remotely holding us back, and so they should. Anyway, so they should. I'm late to parkrun. They should hold me back, honestly. This guy in front should probably just put his arms out, say, no, 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 you stay behind. You're late. You're an idiot. You stay behind me. But thankfully, of course, everyone's too nice at parkruns. Alrighty then, coming up to 2K. Let's see if we did that any quicker. And no, we actually somehow did it 1 second slower. I'm just weird. Traffic in the first K, second K, relatively little traffic, and downhill, and yet somehow I've done it 1 second slower. I honestly don't understand. I don't understand my running, why I go the same speed up as I do downhill. It's very, very strange. But anyway, 4:42. That's clearly the pace we're settling into today. And I do actually recall I was a little bit dehydrated today. Here come the excuses. I'm a bit dehydrated today. Also stayed up a little bit too late last night. Probably a few too many drinks, knowing me. And then, yeah, obviously was also late. So there's all the excuses out of the way nice and early. Just going through 10 minutes. Still just heading through Worcester Woods. And looks like we pretty much settled into the pace of people that we're at similar pace to now. And I'm sure we'll still be going past a few more. Let's see what happens. All right, as we approach halfway here, let's have a look at the elevation gain of this hill. We'll also stay on board for the entire hill just to show the weird way in which I run up hills. Definitely, let's just start the hill there. Elevation gain looks like it's maybe slightly out of sync, but you'll see my heart rate starting to rise. There you go. It is already going up on the left-hand side. So obviously, we know we're doing 4:40 pace so far. I've also been up and under trees as well. So that live pace on the left-hand side there. Now just maybe settling to what it should be. So 4:40 pace is what I've been running at. I'm now running about 4:30, maybe down to 4:20. That's the sort of range I've been running in. Let's see what I do. So this is sort of the finishing funnel, effectively. Obviously, we've got another lap to go. But this is obviously the finishing funnel. From here, you've got maybe 100 meters to go till the finish line. You'll see that in a little while. But there you go. Elevation gain now starting to go up. Heart rate starting to rise. So what you'll see here is you'll see me pass many, many people up the hill. But then many, many people will probably come back past me down the hill. I don't know why I run like this. I've got absolutely no idea. It's definitely not the advisable way to run, not the way that most people run. But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. So like I said, let's just see how many meters of elevation gain. Not making huge progress on people around me right now, but we are going to start to gently come past some people here. You can see, I assume he's called James. We'll call him James. See James here putting in a good effort here. I wonder how old he is actually. Definitely putting in a good effort here to put in. What is he going to put in? Maybe a 23-minute parkrun, something like that. So it's a very good effort. But yeah, right now not going past too many people. Just kind of trying to bide my time up the hill. But generally it tends to be when we turn left in a little minute is when I really start tearing past people. But maybe I'm not going to do it today. Maybe that dehydration excuse is going to come in clutch. We will see. But yeah, still just kind of gently come up the hill. This bit's not too bad, but this is sort of, I guess, the warm-up to the hill, I suppose. This is sort of a gentle hill that's kind of gets you out of breath, but it's okay. At this point, it levels out. You think, okay, I'm done. But then that's when you got the second part of the hill. And the second part of the hill, I find, is when people tend to start to struggle a little bit more. So yeah, just right at the back of these guys right now. We'll see if we do manage to overtake any more, or if I was just absolutely waffling. I'm going to do the same speed as everyone else. Okay, there we go. 2 people overtaken so far up what we'll call the hill, even though we're on the flat bit right now. Already about 10 meters or so of elevation gain in the bank. Again, it's not a huge hill. I'm not claiming it's the biggest hill in the world. It's which is, I think, is why I like it, to be honest. But yeah, so there's 2 people overtaken. Always good to get a little crowd here on that corner. There's always a few people cheering people on, which is always nice to see. And here we go. We're back up the hill again. Now you can see, you can tell by the fact my head's dropped. Just sort of pushing up to 186 heart rate. I do tend to hit about 190 if I'm really pushing up the hill. There's the 3rd person overtaken, and this is normally when I start to really gain on people. And you can see a few glances over the shoulder there of one of the guys that we were just about to overtake. And he actually recognised me. He actually remembers my PB at Pitchcroft when I went sub 19 just a couple of weeks ago. So we had a little chat there as I just came on by. Obviously, I had to mention the dehydration.
Thanks, mate. I'm dehydrated today.
Yep, I think we get it, Alex. You are dehydrated today. Very good. All the excuses in the world. But anyway, we have come through 3K up the hill, by the way. 4:40 pace. So that was actually our fastest kilometre. Obviously, we didn't do the entire hill in that kilometre, but still, actually pretty consistent pace, to be honest. All 3 kilometres within 2 seconds of each other. I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, not as stormy as a hill as I would normally do, but we have just maintained the exact same pace. If anything, though, we sped up. Top left at the moment says 4:24. Not sure how accurate the live readout is, because the top right is from Strava. That's the overall kilometres. The top left is just the pace over the last, I think I do the last 20 seconds or so, something in that region. But anyway, just coming to the top of this hill now. See, it's going to be something in the region of maybe, yeah, about 38 meters or so elevation gain. So it's about 20-meter hill. So it's not a huge hill by any means. The nice marshals at the top of the hill there, just around the crest. And now there's a tiny hill, but now other than at the finish, it's now just gently downhill all the way to the finish. But let's see if we're going to gain any more positions, or we're just going to hold station. So it has taken us till almost 4K just to approach something. And look at that guy. I think that's one of the guys we overtook up the hill. Absolutely blowing past us like we are stood still. Now, that is goals. I mean, look, he's already gone. He's already out of sight. That's absolutely insane. That is absolute goals for me. Although I've got a sub 19K and I'm in more or less that shape as I film this video. Yeah, I mean, that is seriously impressive shape. I'm kind of hoping that he maybe blows up. We can catch him. And it was just a single sprint for the fans. But I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think he's genuinely just absolutely saved something for the finish and has just, I mean, what sort of pace do you think he was doing? Like 3:30 pace? Maybe even a little bit quicker than that? Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, we do actually finally manage to overtake a couple people. We do come through 4K in 4:44. So again, despite the hill, there's no real difference. You wouldn't know which of those kilometers, would you, has got a hill uphill and which has got a downhill. You literally wouldn't know. But anyway, in the final kilometer now, let's just push on, see what we can do, see how many places we can gain despite starting at the very back today. Alrighty then, no overtakes in the bit that you just missed there. Just trying to overtake the headphone guy on the left-hand side, but he actually surges back past us. That was actually our second overtake on him. He did not want to be overtaken by me, despite the fact I'm popping in some 4-minute flat pace now along that little bit. So really got to dig deep here because we're not feeling the best. Heart rate almost approaching 190 despite it still being flat for now. But we're going to have to really dig deep and see if we can get past these guys because he's determined to not let us beat us. He's seen us start at the back and he's gone, no, you get back where you belong, buddy. You start at the back. What are you doing? What are you doing trying to overtake me? Get into the bin. But yeah, as I said, we've just begun that final ascent now. Just coming up the last little bit and look at all the mud on that guy's legs. That's absolutely insane. And you can say you'll see mine at the end. Mine are pretty similar, to be honest. But still no overtakes for now. But now we start to put in the kick. Now it's finally time to go. The guy in front in the bright green? Yellow? Not sure which. Green. That's... I don't know. Fluorescent. The fluorescent top. We do manage to get here eventually. We're sat behind him for the last K or so. And headphone guy, who's been putting the effort to try and get ahead of us. No, we're going to surge past him now. 250 top as well. Round the outside of him. Nice strong finish. Now, I do tend to put in pretty big kick for the finish. And here we go. Let's see what the pace can get to down and the top left. Can we quite get into the twos? Looks like we're going to get a bit of traffic. It does get quite narrow up here for some reason. Not really picking up the pace too much. Anyway, down 320 or so. And yeah, do get a little blocked here. I actually thought this was the finish though. And then realized the finish is afterwards. So I just managed to squeeze past. 2 more, definitely a little bit of a cheeky overtake at the end there. But a 4:18 final kilometre, the quickest kilometre. Do a 22:57 in the end and end up 43rd out of 459. Not bad at all, considering I started from the back. Paper! You're a bit wet, you are. You're a bit wet. I saw you pooping. Embarrassing.